night, Brandon.
Luke Cornett.
And a Hall of Famer chimes in on the Russ Seahawks drama. Why is he saying that this isn't going to end well? Plus, the Patriots, the New England Patriots, still with quarterback questions. Could Teddy Bridgewater be the answer? Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. Jenna Wolf, Nick Wright, Brandon Marshall, Patriots fan, Kevin Wilds. Wilds, you cooking up a Teddy Photoshop for us?
Well, I'm going to after I finish my beautiful painting of Jimmy G holding the Lombardi trophy. I still have a few fine touches to make on it. But after that, we'll be good to go.
There it is. Yes. We will get to Jimmy and Teddy and all of it. We got to start, though, with the NFL draft. Now just 22 days away. Hey, that leaves more than enough time for a few surprises at the top. And how about this one? The Atlanta Falcons, with the 4th overall pick, reportedly now open to trading down. Reports are they've been getting calls about it. Teams looking for a quarterback up there at number 4. But, Brandon, you think the Falcons keep the pick and then plan for life after Matty Ryan?
Woo! Matt Ryan gives you the best opportunity to win right now and to win big. We're talking about 10 straight seasons with more than 4,000 yards. Only Drew Brees has a longer streak. Matt Ryan is the answer. The real problem here is Dan Quinn. It was always Dan Quinn. You go back to when he first came in or before he came in. 2013, 2014, he was the defensive coordinator in Seattle. They were the #1 defense across the board. You hire that guy because of that. And now you pair him with Matt Ryan, who can light it up at any moment. And what you've gotten is a team, a defense that's been in the bottom third of the defense of like basement for his entire tenure. That's the real problem here. Matt Ryan, I'm always going to go with the veteran-savvy quarterback over a rookie quarterback when you're talking about winning right now. All they need is someone to come in and just reshape that defense. That's what they need. Now, obviously, it's not always on one guy, and Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and all the other guys on that side can get better. But when you think about their problems, it's the same problems the Seattle Seahawks has had for years now, Nick, since the Legion of Boom left. And that is your defense is too predictable. You run single high, cover 3, and we know what you're doing in the red zone, in the fringe area, 3rd and short, 3rd and medium. We know what's coming. And the entire NFL has that playbook.
So here's the thing. Even if you're watching and you slightly disagree with Brandon, you think, all right, Matt Ryan's best days are behind him. He's on the downslope, but even if he's still good, he's no longer great, certainly no longer MVP form the way he was the year they went to the Super Bowl. I still think the Falcons should not be drafting a quarterback. And that is because we know quarterbacks are going 1, 2, 3 in this draft. And you've got to ask yourself at some point, how many great quarterbacks do you really think are coming out of this draft? And Wilds, this year's draft reminds me in an odd way of the NFL head coaching hiring cycle of a couple years ago. In the 2019 offseason, there were a quarter of the league hired new coaches. There were 8 new coaches. And if you remember, seemingly everyone wanted the great new young offensive mind. So Zach Taylor got a job, Adam Gase got another job, Freddie Kitchens got a job, Cliff Kingsbury got a job. And ultimately you hired 6 offensive coaches and 2 defensive coaches. Fangio and Flores were the only defensive guys hired. And I think it was Greg Rosenthal made this point, but it's a smart one. By definition, somebody was hiring the 6th best offensive mind of the group. Conversely, somebody was hiring either the best or the 2nd best defensive mind, because those were the only 2 guys that got the job. I feel similarly about the quarterback situation right now. If you're drafting at 4 and you are by definition getting, according to the people in front of you, the 4th best quarterback, you're not going to get the best value that you can get for that pick, when instead you could get literally the best player at any other position. You want the best tight end? You got him in Pitts. You want the best, bless you, or offensive lineman? You've got him in Sewell or Slater. You want the best receiver? You got him in Chase or Smith. Or we haven't even mentioned any defensive players, and Brandon's saying, obviously, that's where Atlanta needs help. So I wouldn't want to take a quarterback at 4 that also happens to be the 4th overall pick and the 4th quarterback taken. So for all those reasons, plus I also don't think Matt Ryan's cooked, I don't think quarterback makes a ton of sense for Atlanta in this year's draft.
All right, but I'm going to push back on you. What if the two teams in front of you are making mistakes? If you don't believe in Zach Wilson and you don't believe in Mac Jones, all of a sudden Justin Fields was there. Justin Fields was the number 2 guy the entire time. Or Trey Lance is there. Trey Lance was number 1 of some people. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah had him over Trevor Lawrence, and that's a controversial take. But Trey Lance has huge upside. So, Nick, what do you do if you look like, wow, they really believe in Mac Jones? You guys really believe in Zach Wilson. We're actually sitting at 4, and we have the opportunity to get the 2nd best quarterback. I agree with you. I think Matt Ryan has a lot more in the tank. But if the 2nd best quarterback is there because the teams are making mistakes, does that change your philosophy?
Well, potentially. But if that's what you're going to do, then it has to be a ever-given style, total shifting course, and you've got to then trade Matt Ryan. You've got to then, Brandon, say, we're going to upgrade our defense with the draft picks we get for Matt Ryan. What you can't do, because I think Brandon's point's the best one, the reason the Falcons have stunk since the Super Bowl, in large part, is because the defense has been terrible. You don't fix that by drafting another quarterback unless you can then use resources elsewhere to upgrade the defense. What the Falcons can't do, Brandon, I believe, is use the 4th overall pick on a player to sit behind Matt Ryan and have Matt Ryan start the year. So if they want to take a quarterback, then all of a sudden Matt Ryan becomes available. And with all the quarterbacks, Brandon, who we've heard have been potentially been available this offseason, Matt Ryan's name is not one that has come up on any list as teams are calling Atlanta trying to trade for Matt Ryan.
That's right. We're hearing nothing. Straight crickets. And you have to believe that this organization sat down with Matt Ryan. Let's go back to the end of the season. The owner, Arthur Blank, he was non-committal on Julio Jones and Matt Ryan. Remember that. That's what he was saying. He was like, well, we don't know. I'm going to let the new regime come in and make that decision. Well, the new regime has been there for months. They sat down and they got on the same page. We've heard nothing. And, Nick, we have this discussion all the time about how sensitive these quarterbacks are. Me and a lot of people are like, this is just a business, and you're one. And I think you're right. You're like, man, these quarterbacks need to be just like everybody else. What makes you invisible? Why can't we draft another quarterback? Why do you get sensitive, Aaron Rodgers, when they draft Jordan Love? To me, that's just the way of the business. But if you have Matt Ryan sitting there and you're committed to him for the next year, 2 years, whatever that is, and you draft a quarterback, what does that do to Matt Ryan? What does that do to your locker room? Now we're in this whole discussion again around, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, and the other scenarios out there in the NFL.
No, but Wilds makes a good point. This draft isn't an absolute science. You never know who's making a mistake. Just ask Lamar. He's happy everyone ahead of him made a mistake in his draft class. You know who else is looking for a quarterback, still having some questions? The New England Patriots. Your New England Patriots, Kevin Wilds. Another team trying to figure out their future.